Welcome, everybody, to the Ektelon International Racquetball Federation's 8th World Championships, brought to you by Penn Racket Sports. Well, there's a nice look at the ladies warming up. Michelle Gould against her opponent. And at the recent Summer Olympics, the United States proved to the world our dominance in the world of sports. And now ESPN's Nick Simonetta tells us about another field of play in the United States that's really causing a racket.
We Americans are a prideful bunch. We always like to think of ourselves as the best, especially when it comes to sports. So what sport do you think we've been the most completely dominant in over the last 15 years? Golf? Tennis maybe? I know, basketball. You know where I'm going with this. Oh yeah, it's racquetball.
Team USA has won 7 straight world championships over that period. In fact, the last time the championships were held on U.S. soil, in Orlando in 1986, it was the only time Team USA didn't win outright. They tied with Canada.
Now, there'll be no ties here in Phoenix because of the tiebreaker system they instituted in 1988. But that's just fine with the U.S. team. They are stacked once again.
Michelle Gould is looking for an unprecedented 3rd World Championship in her record-setting 6th tournament appearance.
Michelle, with all the tremendous success, what makes you so good?
I think a lot of years of hard work. I'm 25 now and I started playing racquetball when I was 10. And I'm extremely stubborn. I've always wanted to be the best at pretty much everything that I've tried. And when I first started playing racquetball when I was a kid, I was awful, absolutely awful. And they told me that I should take up another sport. I bounced the ball 47 times without hitting it once. We counted, that's how bad I was. And it was the first sport that I was ever that bad at. And I decided at that point that this was something that I was going to be good at, and I was going to spend the time and take the steps to accomplish that.
On the men's side, Ruben Gonzalez has been ranked in the top 10 the last 6 years. When he competed for Puerto Rico in '86 and '88, he finished 2nd in the singles each time. Perhaps the most amazing thing about Ruben, he's 44 years old.
Ruben, you've been compared to Nolan Ryan, the Nolan Ryan of racquetball, here at age 44 and in the championships and one of the players favored in the singles division for the men. Talk about that a little bit.
Oh, well, I mean, it's great to be in that. When they look at me as Nolan Ryan and George Foreman and everything, it's got to be a great feeling. So, I just go out there and I try to keep up that image of being one of them top competitors and everything. But it feels really good to go out there and play. It makes me feel young. It makes me to go out there and compete a lot more and just go out there and be positive about the game.
Now, the U.S. team would love to bring home that 8th consecutive World Championship. And the only thing that might thrill them more?
A chance to compete for Olympic gold. The Olympics are opening up to a broader range of sports all the time. And with racket and volley sports like tennis, team handball, and beach volleyball already in the parade, why not racquetball?
Now, maybe someday racquetball will be an Olympic sport. And maybe someday the Olympics will even be here in the Valley. But for right now, the world is here to play racquetball, and Team USA is here to take home the gold.
Hey, Nick, thank you. Nice job. And there's a good look at the American champ, Michelle Gould, and she is fantastic. But interesting, she has to win this in 2 to give the overall championship to the Americans. You're watching the Ektelon Racquetball World Championships on Cox Communications, ESPN. Welcome back, everybody, and take a nice look at the road to the championship for Michelle Gilman, and you'll see what's very typical in her career, Dave Peck. Look at that, 15-1, 15-3, 2-2, 2-2.
Michelle is so focused. She goes in and just plays ball.
How does she keep her competitive nature up? Because almost every match I've ever done of hers has been 1 or 0, 1 or 2. How do you do that?
You know what I've seen from Michelle is it bugs her so much if she gives away more than 5 points a game, even though her competitor might earn it. It just drives her crazy. So that is a motivator for her, and she's one of those that's a real goal setter and everything else.
Well, just a real important side note here. We're talking about the Canadian success and the American success. Once again, if Michelle Gould wins this in 2 straight, the Americans will win the overall team championships here in the Worlds. And of course, her opponent, not to be slighted, again from Canada, Josée Grand'Maître, and she is a good one, but Michelle's record tells us no one's good enough. I don't know.
You know, and that is absolutely the case. You know, and we'll see how she starts off. Josée starts off this match and see how she's, how aggressive she is and if she has a good sound game plan. What I've seen is most of the women players competing against Michelle don't know how to play her. They don't, because Michelle basically has minimal flaws in her game, faults, and
I will admit this to you. Josée Grand'Maître is a little bit easier to pronounce than the first football game I ever had to do, and I had to say Manu Tuiasosopo 12 times.
Man, I can't believe you said that now. That was great.
Tuiasosopo. That's
Man.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm glad I don't make light of this, but I'm glad some of the Chinese or the Vietnamese weren't here. I'm telling you, I reffed the game this morning, and I don't know. I had a hard time communicating. Now, right away, we see the power of Michelle Gould. Now, notice how hard she hitting the ball, speed-wise.
She's probably hitting it about 145, 150 would be my guess. That's on the forehand side. And notice what she's doing right now. She's setting the tone of this match. She stepped up to short hop that ball and just is going to come out aggressively.
Look at this stance as she prepares to serve. We already saw a real different one by Sherm Greenfeld. Now, when she leans over, doesn't that put her, let's say there was a woman of almost equal position against her, at a almost she's in a locked-in position. If somebody gets a quick return on her, she's out of position.
I think one of the reasons Michelle does that is, one, it straightens out her lower back, and as tall as she is, and allows her to get the maximum hip rotation. See, Josée right now is she's 2 unforced errors right now to start off the games, 2-0. She's a little tight right now. She's feeling the pressure, one, of being on a team sport, two, playing Michelle.
Well, how about three, knowing that she has the opportunity to win it all for her country?
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure.
You bet it is. Actually, on both of you. Oh, she just crunches that.
Oh, yeah. And she what she does is she'll keep aggressively going after the shots and aggressively hitting down on the ball.
How would some of the older gals, the originators, the pioneers of the game, Shannon Wright and Lynn Adams, compare today with Michelle?
I think what would happen is they would lose to Michelle. But I tell you, not to take away from those players, they were great players, but Michelle's game is so, I guess, versatile that she would find a weakness in those players. Lynn, Shannon, those players had weaknesses. I don't see any weaknesses with Michelle.
Along with Dave Peck here in Phoenix, Arizona, I'm Jim Turner. And Dave, I would think that Michelle is probably the recipient, as most of the women, in that their power has gone up. We mentioned it before, right there, witnessed by the ace serve. With the improvement of the equipment, specifically a hotter ball and a bigger, better racket.
Absolutely, and the technology, she's using the new power ring frame.
From which company?
From Ektelon.
And I just wanted to ask.
Yeah, and what's happening is she's getting more power from that thing, and notice how she's ripping it. But power isn't the only thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, hitting a good powerful serve is important, but you also got to be able to aim that thing. And what Michelle is doing is, notice she's hitting it to the right-hand side, using the glass. Josée's leaning, and then she's kicking it over to the backhand side. And we're going to see her. She will not lock in to a certain type serve unless it's working. Then she'll just pound away.
American coaches tell me that she zeroes in on her game plan, maybe a night or two before each opponent's game or whatever. She knows who she's going to play, their strengths, their weaknesses through her scouting, and just maybe the word focused is used too much, but she can really do it. You're watching the Ektelon 8 International Racquetball Federation World Championships right here on Cox Communications ASPN.
One of the things that I think are imperative for Michelle to win this, one, come out with a strong, aggressive serve, play aggressive ball, not be concerned about the results here as much as just getting in, hitting offensive shots, and then hitting sharp, crisp passing shots, so that when her opponent's up front, just like that one right there, straight down the line, unable to get it.
Pure power on the part.
Yeah, that's pure power. Michelle, what's fun to watch with her is she has a tendency, when she sees the open court, she isolates on that court and really hits some really good shots. She doesn't lock into a certain shot. She goes where the opportunity is, I guess is the best way to describe it. Great serve. Weak return. That's a good shot by Josée.
Dave, we're going to try to get a shot of the World Championship ring if we can in a few minutes. And actually, we're talking about Team Championship in line. But, you know, I've got my Super Bowl ring on. I can't be any prouder than that. And these racquetball players want that World Champion ring. And we've got one here. So we'll show it to people in just a moment. Michelle Gould playing Josée Grand'Maître.
One serving 4.
And there it is.
Boy, that's beautiful.
Isn't that a beautiful ring? The World Champion Racquetball ring. That, too, is on the line in this game.
But, you know, when I was playing ball, we didn't have the opportunity because the sport, you know, in the ancient days, we didn't have the opportunity to play on the U.S. team when I was playing. And I really think this is such a great opportunity for the players to be able to do this. And I would really, you know, the bad part is Ruben's 44 and he's on the team, and I'm only 39 and not anywhere near the team. So what does that mean, huh?
Well, one of the real thrills for me every once in a while we get out on the road and we do these functions is people in this world of athletics, racquetball, want to take a look at my Super Bowl ring because everybody worldwide's heard about the Super Bowl, and it's just their eyes just roll because it's something.
You're just lucky you have it on your finger because I was going to try to steal it from you. I just didn't have an opportunity. You were too big and too strong.
Perfect example of the power serve coming down the glass, and Josée not able to get over and return.
Can't see it, 1, and 2, it's coming so fast she can't react to it.
Is she physically the strongest female player in the world right now?
Yes, no question about it.
Robin Levine was awful strong.
Robin's very strong. What Robin would do is she'd dive and hurt herself, and so that was one of the.
In fact, she's injured now.
Yeah, oh yeah.
6 serving 1.
Notice what Michelle's doing here. She's isolating on the forehand side. Josée has not been able to hit an effective return on her, and so what's going to happen is notice how many aces there are. Michelle has 4
already.
To 0. Yeah, and this is just only the beginning of the game.
Weak return of serve.
Boy, you see that?
Up.
Yeah, I tell you, I don't know if that was a weak return or just a great shot on Michelle's part. Watch this. When Josée hits the return, watch Michelle move here. Has a stretch back, extend. Oh, man, that was a good shot.
And actually did not have to use her power. Stay with us. We'll be back with more of the Ektelon Racquetball World Championships on ASPN after this. And welcome back, everybody, to Ektelon's International Racquetball Federation's 8th World Championships, presented by Penn Racket Sports, and right here at the City Square Sports Club in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. Thank goodness this is an indoor sport because it's a little warm outside. And we have from America, Michelle Gould playing and leading at the moment from Canada, Josée Grand'Maître. The voice in the background is the head of officials from the International Racquetball Federation. His name is Jim Heiser, does a marvelous job.
1 serving 7.
But we don't always have to agree with referees.
Well, you know, and the thing about reffing is it's very difficult from the angle. The ball is moving in all different directions. It's moving at 100+ miles per hour. It's very difficult to be a referee.
Once again, brilliant job by our cameraman on a good shot. And you'll see Jim moving around because, as we've said, the ball's going at 140 miles an hour plus. So
sure, and it's tough angles. And then combine that with the glass over here where it disappears. It's very difficult.
Side out.
Dave, one of the things that came into racquetball was the striated line in the back so that players wouldn't step up and take the serve out of the air. Was that because of the fear of injuries?
You know what it was done for? Absolutely correct. It was to keep any injuries from occurring. What was happening is players would attack the ball, and then the server is locked in between the lines there, so that the server was unable to get out. So this way, it keeps the person in the service return position from stepping in and accidentally hitting them with the ball or racket. It's more or less a safety scenario.
7-2.
We're looking at 7-2. And Michelle does this to everybody. This does not mean that Josée is a bad racquetball player.
No, not at all.
It's the power of Michelle.
Look at that. I mean, she barely got the ball. She's set up in the middle of the court, hits open court.
Point.
And notice, just then had to run. Josée had to try to run to get that shot, and that's just a tough shot to get. Notice Michelle hit it clean, hit the open court, and brought it down the line.
U.S. racquetball coaches Jim Winterton and Fran Davis tell me that when they want to talk to her about style, form, maybe some mistakes, maybe some things they want to work on. Now, she's got a resume 3 pages long on all of her championships. She's right there. After her game the other day, she stayed out and worked on fundamentals for over an hour. That's probably why she's where she's at.
What you know, in any sport, the champions put in the extra time and effort. It's that simple.
Yeah.
And Michelle is coachable. She understands that, you know, she will take in information, she will analyze it and go, okay, this is what I can do with that information, and toss out what won't work for her.
Well, we previously saw, and it was not an upset, but a victory by Canada. Sherman Greenfeld defeating America's Ruben Gonzalez. So that takes the men out of contention. But now in this game, with Michelle Gilman Gould of the United States leading 10-2, there's something even bigger on the line. Not only her own individual record and a victory she would like, but the overall team title in this World Championships. And a reminder, Dave, 27 countries here.
I got to tell you, if there was any one player in the world, male or female, that I would want as a coach to be playing for the championship
under pressure,
yeah, it would be Michelle. Okay, it's that simple. I mean, not to take away from the other competitors, but she's a gamer.
Can I throw it to some of the old football talk? A lot of players say, "Hey, coach, give it to me, let me win it."
Right?
Is that her?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. I mean, she's aware of the situation. She's not intimidated by the situation. She has her game plan down, and she's just going to go to work on it. Nice angle by Josée there. You know, that's the first time that on that type of serve that Josée has been able to get her out of the middle and hit an effective shot or effective service return.
I want to remind everybody, too, that during these championships, we've got the wheelchair championships going on. We've got the men's masters, veterans championships going on. And the wheelchair is just, they are outstanding.
Awesome. I tried playing that one time, and I'm just amazed. You know, talking about strong, athletic, it's an amazing thing.
And rollouts.
Yeah, oh yeah. And ripping the ball, you know, it's fun to watch. It was fun to play for me. Back to the forehand side, and see Josée hit a winner on that, but it sounded like the racket spun, and really is not hitting a good solid shot on that. Now, would Josée, if I were Josée or coaching her, what I would suggest is coming up with an effective serve. Right now, she has not come up with an effective serve. That lob down the line there was a pretty doggone serve. Good serve. What you got to do with Michelle is you got to change the pace and you got to neutralize her offensive nature. Mm-hmm. Okay.
TV timeout.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. All right, we've got TV time coming out right now. So we'll just tell everybody you're watching the Ektelon 8th International Racquetball Federation World Championships on Cox Communications, ASPN. And we're back here with the Ektelon's 8th International Racquetball Federation World Championships, City Square Sports Club, along with myself. I'm Jim Turner, the great champion Dave Peck.
I tell you what, Michelle is rumored to, you know, this might be her last World Championships. I don't know. I think she enjoys the competition of international competition so much. I'm not really too sure about that. One of the things that Michelle has done, besides the competitive side here, she's taken over as the executive director as the AMPRO, which is the teaching side for teaching instructors, and so she's multifaceted and she's working on the development of the sport, and she's doing a great job not only on the playing side but as far as the instructors go as well.
I got to tell you, Dave, there were rumors a couple of years back that she wanted to get into in the Nationals down in Houston. She wanted to get into some of the men's divisions.
I'm sure some of the men there were very, very nervous about that. I'll tell you, when I was playing, I wouldn't want to compete against her.
Oh, Dave, I know better than that. You were a vicious competitor.
Okay. I would have liked it.
Yes, you would have loved it.
On one of the back courts, when she was beating me, I would say, no, man, it was just practice.
5-10.
You see that angle? Now, what I'm seeing here is Josée is a little bit more relaxed. She's hitting some good shots, has been able to get a couple of cracks. Michelle seems to be pushing a little bit, trying to force a little bit too much. Mm-hmm. Now, she's going to keep moving the ball around, but she's trying to put it down.
Maybe a little too much power that's bringing the ball back to Josée.
Well, that, and she looks like she's tightening up a tad bit.
Why?
Trying to force it. You know,
why? She's ahead.
Results. You think in terms of results. If you're in there, you have a lead. If you think in terms of results, what happens is it starts to tighten you up a little bit.
Well,
that's where you got to play one point at a time.
We've already pointed out she always wins, fifth, with the opponent's only getting 2. Well, it's 10-6. Do you think that bothers her?
Down.
I don't think it bothers her. I think she during this type of competition, you realize that, okay, I need to win both games.
10-6.
So when you have this type of lead, there's a tendency to let it creep in and you tighten up just a tad bit. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, I think she's going to be able, right now, get out of it and crank it up. But she looked just a tad bit tight on the last couple shots.
Now, there's a 145-mile-an-hour serve, that's for sure.
Down, down.
Josée let her body her out of position. It would take a terrific look at the serve.
Watch this serve here. Now, the serve is your offensive weapon. Watch the serve here. Gets back in the deep back court. Josée just had to flick it up to the ceiling and came up short and allowed Michelle to hit that offensive shot and set up the point. What a lot of players will do is they'll get up in the service zone and just sort of swing away and not really concentrate on what the goal at hand. The goal at hand is either an ace or a weak return. Majority of the time, you know, the percentages are a weak return. Just then, hit a good, powerful serve. Josée was a little off balance, skipped the ball.
Once again, Dave, we want to thank the people here at the Lexington Hotel. It's magnificent. It's a full service for what we've got. All the racquetball courts, the hotel, all of these glass courts, everything all in one facility here in Phoenix, Arizona. And, of course, the City Square Sports Club right in the middle of it. And Dave, I wanted to mention to you once again the dream of all the racquetball players, and somewhat of a theme that we want to keep the dream going on is the potential someday of getting us into the Olympics, getting the racquetball into the Olympics. Women's softball this year was extremely popular.
Yes.
First time. Dot Richardson, all of them did a marvelous job as ambassadors. And we had beach volleyball with my old friend Karj Karai. They sold their own sport. Somehow this game has to get some friends somewhere and be able to do it, because to me this is an Olympic quality sport.
There's no question about it, and I think we're in the right direction here in terms of the AMPRO, the instructors building the infrastructure. The AARA is doing a great job, and across the board the companies realize that through their support, the racket manufacturers understand that it's absolutely imperative to support the grassroots effort.
Are they working at it too? You know, we're talking about Ektelon, Wilson, Spalding, all of them. They're working at it too. It's their dream as well.
Absolutely. And, you know, the bigger the pie, the better for everyone. And, you know, with the Olympics, it was so exciting. And, you know, as a player, you fantasize about the opportunity to stand on that and, you know, listen to the national anthem. And you know, I think, again, if we build the infrastructure and develop the sport even more like what we've been doing, I think there's a good opportunity for us.
Josée Grand'Maître from Canada has a son, Matthew. I'm not, you know, so many of the people brought their kids here. It's almost like
it's great.
A week
it's
at
great.
Disneyland.
You know, Phoenix is a great city to come visit. The facility here, this is a player's facility. You play your match and you go upstairs or, you know, hit the room or whatever. It's just clean. It's super. Great courts. First game to Michelle. Notice she got a little tight in that first game and then came back like a steamroller. Watch the second game.
Well, she's simply unbelievable. So very, very powerful. You're watching the Ektelon 8th International Racquetball Federation World Championships on Cox Communications ASPN. Well, the first game's over. Michelle Gould winning it 15-6, getting ready for the second game.
Watch the serve here. Let's see what she does with it. Good drive serve. See the power back in the corner. And here comes the setup. And she'll just put the ball right where she wants it, and there's no way Josée can get it.
Well, Josée had a mid-game run there. She did pretty well.
And you know, it was interesting to see here. We have Michelle at 11 kill shots and Josée at 3. What was interesting, all her errors were in the latter part of that first game. And again, I think she got a little tired, not tired, but a little nervous as far as things go.
Well, as we've set up and getting ready for Michelle Gould to start this second game, winning the first one puts America back into a very good position of winning the overall World Championship team title with the victory right here by Michelle Gould.
Well, she's starting off this game in a real aggressive fashion. Good drive serve to the backhand side. Josée moved up to cover what I guess she thought was going to be a kill shot, and you know, Michelle passed her over on the right-hand side.
Our expert, Dave Peck, many-time champion himself, a wonderful ambassador of the game of racquetball. I'm Jim Turner. We are here at the City Square Sports Club in Phoenix, Arizona. Yes, Phoenix has everything, but I got lost in the car the other day, and it was 111. And I thought, you know, if this car folds on me, I'm gone.
Smoking.
It's the hottest temperature-wise I've ever been in.
Oh, yeah. It's a little toasty out here. Josée just then had an opportunity for a kill shot in the middle of the court there, and she skipped the ball. You cannot do that against Michelle. You got to, when you have those opportunities, you got to make sure you hit your shots like that one. Notice that. Michelle, Josée hit it.
I call it hinder ball. They're
Jim is calling it hinder. Tell us what's happening here.
What happened is Michelle hits the ball cross court. Josée pokes it up to the front wall. Michelle's going for the shot there and runs into her.
Looks to me like Michelle could not have gotten that ball.
It was a close one. It would have been a tough one. You know, the thing is, as a player, you want an opportunity, a straight opportunity to at least have a shot at the ball. When the player stands in your way like that, you know, I don't think Michelle could have gotten that, but you at least want the opportunity to try to get it.
Right.
Michelle is coming out aggressive, hitting the ball flat with a lot of power. She's changed up her service strategy here a tad bit. She started off going to the backhand side, which, you know, the first game, majority of shots were to the forehand side.
Dave, I hope our viewers are enjoying this, the very first live telecast of racquetball here in Phoenix, Arizona, and the first match for the World Championship won by Sherman Greenfeld of Canada, defeating the U.S. champ Ruben Gonzalez. Maybe no upset in there, but it sure gives Canada a leg up on some very, very tremendous racquetball here in Phoenix, Arizona.
Absolutely, and it was a nice display of racquetball on Sherman's part. I think Ruben, I got to tell you, watching Ruben play, he looked a little tired to me. You know, I think he got injured the latter part of the game. The good part is Michelle's in here and she's getting after it. And Josée, you know, she's hustling and getting shots. What I don't see on Josée's part is clarity in terms of game plan. I see a lot of fluctuation there. You know, okay, I'll try this serve, I'll try that. But I don't see a strategy in terms of, you know, what am I going to do against to get Michelle and beat this opponent? Against Michelle, you got to have a game plan. You got to know what to look for.
Well, let's give her credit for taking every one of her opponents out of that game plan.
Absolutely. There's no question about it. But as a competitor, what you have to do is you try to get them to play your game.
Well, we hope everybody is enjoying this. You're watching the Ektelon Racquetball World Championships on Cox Communications, ASPN.
Watch this backhand stroke here. Moving over, hits it up to the ceiling. Watch Michelle get in position here and just rip it straight down the line. And look at Josée there. Notice she rotated her hip, accelerated her elbow, got the sidewall, hit sidewall, front wall, and decompressed the ball so it flattened out. But still, Michelle is up at 0-5 right now.
After winning the first game. So we are in the second game.
That's a tough serve. Very good serve. Screen ball. See, with that type of opportunity in the middle of the court like that, you know, I question the shot selection. Michelle was directly behind her. You know, when your opponent's behind you, you can hit sidewall, front wall, or at least you go for the kill.
Wow.
Okay, notice the aggressiveness on that. Stepped right up, hit it flat.
See, that's a perfect example of working with the coaches in the evening on her shots.
Watch this. As Josée hits her shot, it's just up there, sort of floating along. Watch this rip. Now, one of the things you need to notice on that, too, is if Michelle would have maybe left it up a little bit, it still would have forced Josée into deep back court and have to hit the ball from 38, 39 feet. Whoa.
Players wearing their team and country logos with Michelle and their USA shirt. And, of course, Josée with Canada, the beautiful maple leaf on the back. To me, it's the hottest item out here. I've been trying to get that shirt from Canada.
Side out.
Josée's hitting her lob serve shallow, okay, which has given Michelle the opportunity to what's called a fly kill. And what she's going to need to do is get it up deep enough to carry to deep back court and nick off the side wall.
With all respects to Bolivia, I hope I say this right, the next World Championships in Cochabamba, Bolivia in the summer of 1998.
You sound like Ricky Romero. That was excellent.
Well, I'd like to go.
I'm thinking, the only tricky part of playing in that type of scenario is you're at 6,000 feet. You know, any of the teams that have played up in Colorado, oh my goodness, understand that at that altitude.
And I hope he doesn't say check the ball, because that's not what needs to be checked.
Watch this.
Watch this.
Now notice, Josée's in the way. Scoot out of the way.
Oh, ouch. Ooh.
And Michelle will continue to take that cross-court shot because that's where the open court is. So Josée needs to either change up the serve or back out and get it at such an angle that it doesn't take away the cross-court.
How close is she to an avoidable when she brings it back like that?
She's not that close because she's at a diagonal. However, you know, Michelle will continue to take whatever shot she feels will get Josée out of the middle. You know, one of the interesting things coming up, too, is we have the U.S. Open. First U.S. Open, that's going to be in November in Memphis, Tennessee. I'll tell you what I'm going to be doing. I'll be looking for Elvis, okay?
I'll remind everybody, right after racquetball this evening, California Angels baseball coming up on ESPN. Really appreciate the guys from ESPN. They're doing a marvelous job. See, I always love the cameramen because they, well, if they like you, they make you look good.
That's right.
They follow your lead with the crowd. Got all the people in here very, very interested in the ladies' match. And this has just been a fantastic half week so far and another week to go.
Sure. And you know, what's fun to me is to see the excitement during the competition. Good get on Michelle's part.
Well, our opening ceremony is much exactly like, if you will, the Olympic opening ceremonies with the flag bearing, everybody coming in a parade with the music. And it was really touching. Every country loved it. And I remind everybody, 27 countries here in Phoenix. Pretty good.
Yeah. And think about this, right after the Olympics and this kind of fun, you know, it's I tell you, it's fun to see, for me, the excitement of the participants. You know, from you know, one country has just a couple participants, and they're here and they're having a blast and they're enjoying themselves, and you know, that's what it's all about. It's having fun. Of course, Josée doesn't look like she's having that much fun right now, and neither does Michelle, come to think about it.
Another group we need to thank because they've done and do a marvelous job. Mike Scully has been with us all the way through. The Maricopa County Sports Commission doing a heck of a job.
Oh, fantastic. The players love coming to this facility and coming to Arizona.
You don't need to rent a car. I mean, you're here.
Oh, yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
The restaurant's here, swim pool's here, all the courts are here.
And the hospitality, you know, the hospitality is what's so nice. People are just friendly and helpful. Notice Michelle used the sidewall glass here, brought it straight down the line, hit the open court, and allowed her, you know, the opportunity to score there.
You know, you notice that Michelle doesn't ever talk to her opponents through a game. She's just talking to herself and zeroing in on what she has to do.
Focus.
Get it over with and get it out of here.
The whole time she's in there right now, she's analyzing what's going on. Okay, what serve do I hit? Where do I hit it? How do I execute? Shot selection-wise, what are my opponent's strengths? What are their weaknesses? And isolating on that weakness. Then once the opponent starts figuring out, okay, you know, she's hitting this particular serve or this shot selection, Michelle is analyzing and will change it up.
Well, very unfair tag put on Steffi Graf, the great tennis player, because she goes in, gets it over with, doesn't chit-chat, doesn't smile, and it doesn't mean that she's non-caring or anything. She just wants to get it over with.
Absolutely.
Now 8-1, led by Michelle Gilman Gould here in the second game, of which she won the first one. So
serving one.
Just hear Jim Heiser in the background, the head official calling the score. So we'll set it up again with a victory here by Michelle Gilman Gould of the United States. Then the United States would win the team championships.
Absolutely, and like I said,
and gold medals will be awarded.
Skip.
Josée is a little rattled now, is what I see. Rattled in that she has to get her game plan.
9, serving one. Okay.
Scores 9-1. Wow, you know, she's just zipping through this.
That's just an interesting stance to take before a serve. I know it helps her concentrate and get the full power on the serve, but it really is something. You're watching the Ektelon 8th International Racquetball Federation World Championships on Cox Communications, ASPN.
Go ahead. 10, serving one.
Welcome back, everybody. A nice look at the crowd here. We've got players from Mexico and Bolivia, all of them standing in here, sitting on the side ramp, coming down the side back wall, watching these championship games. One already won on the men's side by Sherman Greenfeld of Canada over America's champ Ruben Gonzalez. Ruben coming up with an ankle injury at the end, but I don't think that had a determining factor.
Sherman just played a real strategic game and executed his game plan. Yeah, that's all. And Ruben, you know, he was a little flat, not flat, but I think the wear and tear of the tournament, you know, slowed him down a little bit. You know, at 44, it's not the thing that I found is when I play tournaments, the first, second round, not too bad. It's when we get into the third, fourth round that I find them a little sore, a little tired, and all those things that are just disgusting.
Point.
11 serves one, second game. Michelle Gould won the first one. Looks like she's going to put it away here in quick fashion.
Yeah, she's like I said, she's just playing. She's executing her game plan right now, and I don't see a good service return on Josée's part. She needs to get Michelle out of the middle of the court. Notice where she is. She's positioned. Notice the glass hinder there. Her glass difficulties.
Shot.
Yeah.
Lost it. She even pointed to the glass.
Sure. Couldn't see it at all.
Yeah, she did.
She saw that young guy there smiling at her when she's getting ready to swing. You know?
There you go. See in the background the gentleman in their green unis.
Sure.
That's part of the Team Mexico.
And you know, with the blue racquetball like that, it just blends right in. It just disappears. Notice she switches sides. She mixes it up. So just as Josée is starting to anticipate to the forehand side, Michelle's, look at that shot. Michelle mixes it up.
They've always wanted to ask a player of your quality this question. Doubles is really a big popular item in all these tournaments like this, but if you play doubles and you're an exceptionally good singles player like Michelle is, does it hurt your singles game?
You know, what I found is the doubles helps your singles game. It makes you isolate on weaknesses. Okay, so you have double the coverage there. So what happens is you basically have to execute and have a diversified game. You can't just lock in to, say, hitting pinch shots all the time. You got to go down the line, cross court, and mix up your game because you have double the coverage. Plus, you learn patience in doubles. Look at that shot. Whoa. You think she has some
We
pace
just saw
on that ball?
Ruben and Sherman do that one.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
13, serving 1.
Unbelievable talent.
You cannot, no matter who you are, you cannot allow the person in the service return position to tee off on the shots like that. You know, the philosophy is to get a weak return if possible. Nice stretch. Good get. Michelle's just moving her from side to side.
Yeah.
You know, it looks like she's just banging away, but she's not.
No. She's you know, when she hits it, there's a strategy and a plan.
13.
She's hitting it to a certain location for a certain reason. Let me tell you, just on that last rally, Josée intimidated her a little bit by playing her close and was looking right at her. And Michelle, sort of fell for it.
Hey, look at this. We're looking at 13-1. And it looks like Michelle's facial expression, tight-jawed, like she's behind. She's not playing it.
Right.
Well, that's not the case at all. This gal is dominating.
13,
but she is serious. Take a look at this.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
she's walking away here with the gold medal. Look at her.
Oh, yeah. And that's nothing new for Michelle. I mean, she just very focused player.
Skip.
You know, and I think Josée,
14,
she's playing a good match. Again, she doesn't have the game plan and is making unforced errors.
America wins the team title if she comes up with the winning point right here or anytime now. It's 14-1, however. And so America would win the overall team title.
There it is.
There it is. So
Great
America
match.
wins it.
Man, that's
but
a great
Canada
match.
Has a tournament. Great match on the part of Michelle Gould over Josée Grand'Maître. And ladies and gentlemen, we really hope you have enjoyed our first live telecast of racquetball. It's been fantastic with the marvelous work of all the countries, and we think it's fantastic. But what you just saw, we're going to watch the award ceremony when we come back. What you just saw is the strength and ability of the best female racquetball player in the world. We're going to take a little short pause. We're going to be back with more of the Ektelon Racquetball World Championships on ASPN right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Michelle Gould winning the Women's Racquetball Championship here in the World's 15-6, 15-1 over Josée Grand'Maître. A reminder on ASPN after we leave the air with racquetball, California Angels baseball coming up. And I want to say a personal thanks to all the crew here in Phoenix, cameramen, guys in the truck, everything. Very, very, very nice job. This is something new. We're all putting on live racquetball, and we're having a lot of fun. We're going to throw it to Dave Peck here in just a second as Michelle. You will see a smile now on Michelle Gould because she is really something very personable. And you know what? Let's go to it. Let's go to the ladies' champ, Dave Peck, with Michelle Gould.
Michelle, tell me, how does it feel to win? How many world championships is this for you?
Well, I've actually been competing in them for 10 years now.
10 years, fantastic.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Game plan-wise, you sort of isolated on the right side, then moved back over to the left. What was your game plan going into this match?
I wanted to make sure that I mixed things up a lot so that, from my serve standpoint, I kept it moving from side to side so that it was a little confusing for her to know which way to go. And I tried to utilize the glass as much as possible because it's tough.
In this type of situation, were you a little nervous coming in here? I mean, you didn't look nervous at all, but the fact of the matter is, you had to win this for the U.S. Was that on your mind at all when you were playing, or how did you approach this type of game?
Yes, it was. Actually, our referee announced that right before we walked on the court. I think the day that I'm not nervous is the day that I won't play. This means so much to me and the rest of the team, and it's an honor to be able to pull through.
Did you feel as though when you were playing, did you feel a momentum change? You came out aggressively. Did you feel as though Josée was intimidated at all, or did you feel any type of momentum change or anything when you were playing?
Well, when I first started out, my serves were going in really well, and I only had, I think, one short serve the whole first game, which is a very positive statement from me, and I think that really kept the pressure on her a lot of the match so that I can remain in control.
Well, that was a fantastic. Let's get the U.S. coach in here, Jim Winterton. Congratulations, Coach. Good job.
Thanks, Dave.
Let me ask you a question here. Come on in here. How does it feel going into this type of scenario, knowing that you have your ace here playing for the championship?
Well, I guess a good analogy would be a baseball team that's got somebody that throws 101 miles an hour to have to win the game for you in the ninth inning. We couldn't have a better person to win it for us. This lady right here.
Well, you guys, let me tell you, it was an absolutely great job. Congratulations to both, and back to you, Jim.
Thanks, Dave. Congratulations to Coach Winterton and Michelle Gould. Also, congratulations to Sherman Greenfield. We'll take a break. We'll be back with you with more messages and more news on ASPN.